This is a walkthrough of the Learning 2A activity, the Creator Kit puzzle tutorial. So we're going to look at this Creator Kit puzzle tutorial. If you follow either of these links, it'll jump you to this tutorial. There are 4 parts. We're really going to look at the first 3 parts here and get things set up. So this is part of a course segment that Unity has created, and they have these different creator kits when you're learning Unity that's kind of sets a framework so you can learn some things. Our goal here, our main key, is to learn how to do 3D navigation with it. One of the problems with this is that the Creator Kit adds some built-in or some scaffolding and stuff around here to make creating a puzzle game easier, but some of that actually makes it a little more complicated too as far as using it from a Unity perspective. But we're going to focus on the 3D navigation part of this. So again, if we go to this first tutorial, you can just go through this tutorial. Here there's each of these steps. Some of these steps are pretty straightforward, and you maybe already you've already done. Download Unity Hub, install Unity, log in with your Unity ID, and then here we're going to create this Unity Hub project. So again, we're going to go into learn, and then scroll down and find this Creator Kit project, and then you're going to open up this project and work with this. So it'll take a while for Unity to run and set that up for us. Okay, so while that loads, going back to here, so download project if needed, open the project. Here, if you hit view tutorials, it'll just jump you to this website, so you don't have to do that here. And then we can save it once it's up and running, so you can go back. There's some information if you cannot save your project in Unity. I have not, but I think the current version of Unity has solved this problem, so you probably don't have to worry about that. And then it just walks you through the Unity editor, and this is kind of nice. It talks about, hierarchy window, the inspector window, and project window, toolbar, scene window. And again, throughout the tutorial, this is helpful because they'll often be saying, go to the inspector window and do this, or go to the hierarchy window and do this. And so you should know where those are for this. And again, walks you through, you can read through this. Again, some of this stuff you may know already, but if not, this is a good review. Same with the toolbars, it'll walk you through the use of these toolbars. Particularly this toolbar here, we'll be using the hand tool, the move tool, rotate and scale tool. And there's the QWERT QWERT keyboards that jump you through these. So this is QWERT right along the top of your keyboard are shortcuts to all those tools. And again, navigating with your mouse. This is what we really want you to learn here as you go through. And you can mark these steps as you complete it, or in little bonus stars to complete certain tutorials. And then you want to try out this game. And so in order to do that, you're going to want to go to the project window, go to Assets, Creator Kit, Scenes, and open up the example scene and example scenes, and in that open up the example menu and then run it, and then we'll see that. So let's see if our Unity is up and running yet here. Okay, so here our game's open here. It still has the default scene, which is an empty scene here, but we're going to go over here again. We're going to look in this Creator Kits, under Assets, Creator Kits in their project window, and Scenes, and under Scenes we're going to look at example scenes and then see this, and this is our example menu. Now if you can't read these, I often shift this little scroll bar to the left and switches all the way down to a list view here by changing that, and so then you can see the example menu a little easier. So I'm just going to double click and open that. Now I can zoom out. This is a 2D menu, so it's kind of hidden, and so we're actually not going to modify that at all, but it's just sometimes these 2D menus and 3D views when we do a user interface like this are kind of strange. And you can see there's these other levels that are already here, but this will interact with those. So now I'm just going to hit play. Now I can see them in scene view. When I hit play, I'll switch to game view here. It'll see it Okay, one thing I'm going to do when I play this is I'm going to switch to maximize play. I'm also muting the audio in this case for the tutorial. So I'm going to switch this to max play. I'm going to actually stop this and do it again. So this will just display it in a bigger window here. Okay, so and then you start level 1, play this stuff. Now, this is your ball. It drops around. The space bar will do action. So if it's space bar, it'll do that thing. And the idea is to get the ball over to this circle here, and you hit R to restart. So if I want to restart, I can, and I can try to finish this level here. Wait and try to hit that at the right time. Get the ball over there, and eventually you should be able to get the ball to roll on top of that circle, and you're done. Now, once that is done, you can try to play it. Then you'll be able to open up. Once you've completed level 1, level 2 and level 3 will open up, and you can try those out also. Okay, so that's the basic idea of this game. You feel free to try those out. And then just some release notes on this. So now we're going to go on to designing your own simple puzzle here, the next level of this. So again, we're going to use scenes. One scene is going to be for the menu, and one scene is going to be for each level of the puzzle. So we can have maybe 4, if we want a menu and then 3 different levels, that would be 4 scenes total for this. So we use these scenes to hold each one of those here. And the way we create menus and scenes are a little different here, and they try to explain this than what you might do in a standard Unity setup, because of there's a structure here to try to make it easier for you. So first we're going to create a menu system. We go to this. So it tells us to, now that because we loaded this, there's a special menu up here for Puzzle Kit Tools. Go there and create a menu. It will automatically create a folder for us for user created content and create a new menu here. Now if I want, I can rename that. I'm going, oops, right now I just opened it, but I can just click on it and say like Tom menu if I want here. And it'll put it there. So once I have that created, I can go back to my tutorial. So again, created a new one here. Now I'm going to open it up and go to the menu canvas and look at that. So again, some stuff here. When that's open here, so now I'm going to go to this menu canvas object here, and let me try to open this up a little bit more. So I'm going to, there's these different components to this menu canvas object here, and I'm only interested in this one, the menu scene here. And there's this is a script that they've created for us, and there's an empty list of levels here. So we're going to create a new level. So I'm just going to go down here and click this create and add button. It created a new level in my user created content. I'm actually going to rename that. I have to save that to do that. I'm going to rename, oops, right click and say Tom level 1 here, and reload this. Okay, so I actually double clicked it and opened it up in the level. So I'm going to go back to my menu. I want to go back there, and if I look at menu canvas under levels now, this Tom level 1 is there. You don't have to rename these. I'm just doing it out of habit. But let's go back to our tutorial. Okay, so let's look at some of the settings for this. So we've created our level here, and then we're going to change the display name, the required stars. Since this is going to be our first level, we were going to set the required stars to 0, and then set some start times for how quickly you have to do it to do this. And this is rather specific to this sort of environment, but again, we'll often be writing scripts, and then inside those scripts we'll declare variables where you can fill in values. So this is a good example of that you will use later on. So I'm just going to say give it some display name here. Required stars is 0, and again, I want a large time, a smaller time, and then a less time here for, so if you do it real quick, you'll get 3 stars, otherwise you get these. Now, when you're going through these tutorials, you can certainly follow and enter these exact numbers you want here. In the rollerball ones, they tell you the exact numbers for colors, but I'm not too concerned about that. If you want to, you can, but you can always just enter your own numbers here, pick your own colors and that sort of stuff for a lot of these things. So, and then we're going to save this with Control S. So over here, I'm going to hit Control S to save this here. So now we're going to open up and do some layout of this level. So I'm going to I'm in this menu scene. I'm going to go back to my level that I created here. So back in the project window, there is the menu, which I have open right up here, the Tom menu. I'm going to go up to the Tom level 1 and open up this. Now I'm really zoomed in. I can actually scroll, zoom in, but if I click on just like level layout, it'll just zoom me. If I double click on that, it'll zoom into this level. So here's my layout that I have. I'm going to change this around a little bit now, hopefully, so I can see this a little better for this. I don't have a really good big recording window here. And I can edit this level, but we're gonna eventually we'll go and do normal editing, but first they have some things to make the initial layout a little easier for laying things out. So that's what we're gonna go in first. We're gonna click on level layout and then find the puzzle layout component. So components are always over here in the inspector, and then we're going to add some components to this. So this is kind of a strange environment. I'm actually going to turn off the main camera for this record. Oops, not the lighting. I'll leave the lighting on. The main camera, you don't have to do this, but just so you can see it a little clearer, I'm just going to turn off those two cameras here. Okay, so now I'm going to go to level layout here. And then inside that is a component on the right called puzzle layout. And I'm going to click on editing layout. It's set to add, and then we can add some ramp pieces. So if I click on straight ramps, there's a couple straight ramps. So if I click there, it'll add a straight ramp. See how that straight ramp was added there? Here. Oops. As I go around, and so I can kind of move around. And again, this is what you want to practice, is moving around with the middle scroll bar. Will scroll wheel can zoom in and out. If you click and hold the middle scroll one, you can switch to hand mode, or if you go to hit hand mode and then use the left scroll bar, that also pans. Now if I click, it'll add another of these values. So every time I click, it'll add one of these values. And again, if I want to add a curve here, I can add a curve here. Or if I go down to straight, I can add a straight one. And then again, I should click. And now it's doing the next one. I'm going to add a curved one here to curve it here. And I'm going to click and add another one maybe here. So again, this just helps you line these up. You can add it at either end, but the ball is going to drop here and go around. So I don't really like this interface. It's supposed to make it easier for really beginners to do this, but we want you to actually go to the next step where you're manually adding these things in. So just add one or two. Again, so you should be in add mode. You should be clicking on straight and curved and adding a couple of those in here. Again, when you click, it'll add the next one in, and you can select the type, and you can click to lock in the next one. And then I'm going to hit save, then go back here. Okay, so we've added these. Scroll down, design your simple ramp. So they talk about adding a slope piece here. There's our slope piece, and then you can change it around a little bit. And then now we want to position the marble on the goal here. So I'm going to go back here and look. Now there's two things. There's a marble here, and then there's a goal value over, where's the goal value? Over there. So now I can actually try out my level. I'm going to turn on my cameras again real quick so I can try out this level. And again, you don't have to do the cameras. I just have this, students complain about these lines when I'm doing the video. So now I'm going to hit run to run this. The ball drops down, swirls around, and drops out. So again, the marble should automatically drop into your first location here, and that should work out pretty well, but it's nowhere near the end here. And it also goes kind of slow. Maybe if we raise the marble up a little, it'll go a little faster. So a couple things you can do is, let's find our marble here. So there's the marble, where the location where the marble is going to drop. I'm just going to raise that up a little bit. And here's where's the goal? The goal is over here. Now, I can kind of zoom around. One thing is fine is this little dongle over here for the XYZ. If I click on the Y, it'll look at it from above. And then that makes it a little easier sometimes to move this where you want it. Oops. Sometimes they click on the wrong things and it's hard to click back there. So I can move this goal where I want it. And again, you can then scroll, you can pan and scroll from here, or you can hit X and Z to kind of see some different values and Y, again, to look from above. Sometimes these are good shortcuts to get you in. Also, you can generally click on one of these things to zoom in on it, and then you can kind of pan. So again, your goal is to get used to kind of moving around these levels. So again, scroll wheel, click on the scroll wheel to do the hand, to pan, and then right to do a rotate for this. So now hopefully I've got this better. I can run this again and see if you can set this up so that, oops, I forgot to enable my camera again. Okay. So here's my marble going down, and hopefully it'll go. And again, I can then edit things. If I don't have things quite right, I can edit them for that. Okay, so let's go back to our tutorial here. So we can move the marble, we can use the move tool, we can move the goal here. So that ends this next part. The last part is to increase the challenge here. And we're just going to do the first part of this, adding more prefab objects. So again, they're saying go in the project room and go to Assets, Puzzle Creator, Prefabs, Puzzle Pieces, and then there's some folders of some puzzle pieces you can add. So they're talking about like adding the spoon component here, which is in the interactive puzzle piece areas. So again, right now we've been using this special level editor, which I don't like that much. So I'm going to actually go out of that, and then again, that's what they're asking you to do. So these puzzle pieces we put in here have to be there in a certain way with the level editor. But now everything else we place is just going to be a normal thing. So again, we're going to go to Assets, Creator, Kit Puzzle, and then go under Prefabs, and then go under Puzzle Pieces, and open that up, and then there are like interactive puzzle pieces. Now here their names are, you might actually want to switch this back to icon view here so I can see them. So here I can see the spoon here, so I'm going to click and drag the spoon up here. For this, if I want to drag a flipper, I could drag a flipper there. Similarly, you could drag other things here. And again, your goal is to just practice moving these around. So I actually want this to drop down. Let's see if I can do this above. I want this to be maybe over here, and then I want the spoon to be maybe here. So I'd like it to drop right into the spoon, and then from the spoon I'll flick it up to there. So let's see how that's going to work. And you can try out different things. I keep forgetting to turn my camera on. There. Okay. And again, this is just a kind of iterative process to build this, try out different things. And this is common. So there, I'm in the spoon. I can hit space. This way. Now, when I hit, it was going up and hitting this, so that didn't work very well. Maybe I want to move the spoon out and get it. So again, you can practice some different things. Also, I think something's wrong with my flipper. I think it's on the ground, so it's kind of getting confused. So I'm going to look at these. So a couple things I can do is then move these. I can do it in any of these 3D views. I can also move them up. Like this flipper, I can change that. I mean, I'm not even using the flipper right now. And you can also look at some of the other pieces. There's like domino pieces you could put down here and stuff and set up if you wanted here. So I'm going to let's just show you how to put the domino pieces. Now, one thing when you're putting in a set of pieces, so maybe like you're putting in a set of dominoes, or you're putting in some of the ramp puzzle pie pieces here. Maybe we're going to add a different ramp piece here. That's a good thing to do, is manually put that in and see if you can get it in the right spot. Here's the ramp piece I put in. Can I get it over to the right spot? And then can I get it to the right level and stuff like that, so it's actually useful. And you can try the rotate tool to rotate it around in different ways for this. So. And as you're creating these, like here I have these domino pieces and I can see them all here. I want to group them together so that if I'm moving one of them, let's just click on one of these, I'm moving one of the dominoes, maybe they'll all move together. So that's as one unit. So to do that, probably the easiest way is to create an empty game object and call it dominoes set or something like that. So create an empty game object, and then you can put these things in that empty game object in a hierarchical view kind of. So I can drag those all down here. What's nice about there is when we're clicked on one domino, we can just move or rotate that one in some ways. But if we want to move the whole set, we can click on the whole set and the whole set moves together. Similar for your track. Now, this track here is actually part of a big level layout tool. So you can actually modify that track here. But as you build your own tracks, you can. So if I were to get rid of that level track and just build my own track here, I could. Now let's see how we're doing here for this. So dropping down, I'm not hitting that, that's okay. See if I get to my spoon, hit my spoon. Can I flick that up? Flicks up because it hit the level, yay! Okay. So the main goal is here is to get used to, again, moving around, zooming in, clicking on things, finding things over here, maybe doing some organization of things here to make a basic fun level. So okay, so they go over here, they talk about adding a flipper, the interactive key here, space. You can actually use a different key if you want, different things to use. You can actually add, so there's other stuff, adding another marble. We're not necessarily going to go that. Adjusting the camera settings, you can try that if you want. Um, oh, and then starting a level with a different marble and that sort of stuff. One thing you have to watch, the camera follows the marble. And so if you are switching from one marble to another or creating multiple marbles, you do have to watch how the what when the camera is following. So my goal in here is to get you to do adding more prefab objects and get some time exploring around in 3D view. So if you can do that, you're good for this learning activity. Hope you enjoyed it.